What if I told you everything you've learned about becoming rich is a lie?
A lie. Seriously. You mean like working harder, saving more, waiting for that big break, that whole thing? It's not the secret.
Exactly. Marc Reklau's You Can Become Rich Too. It just tears down those myths we've all kind of bought into.
Yeah.
And replaces them with simple, science-backed habits that actually make building wealth possible for real people.
Right. So it's not about getting lucky or, inheriting a fortune. It's psychology. It's discipline. It's actually rewiring the way you think about money. Because guess what? Your own beliefs might be the very thing holding you back, keeping you broke.
And the craziest part, you don't need a trust fund, you don't need some fancy business degree, or even a perfect step-by-step plan. You just need to start thinking like the people who've already made it. So stick around, because in the next hour or so, we're breaking down the secrets from You Can Become Rich Too that could genuinely, completely change how you build your future.
Hello, everyone. Hi, all. Welcome to Book Podcast Zone. I'm Emma, your enthusiastic guide for today.
And I'm John. Today, we're doing a really deep dive into this powerful idea that wealth, well, it isn't some miraculous one-time event,
Yeah.
like winning the lottery.
Right. Not lightning striking.
Exactly. It's more like a predictable compounding outcome, something built on a series of daily, repeatable, small actions. Habits, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking a hard look at that foundation. The habits that make riches, well, maybe not guaranteed, but certainly inevitable rather than accidental. And we're drawing specifically from Marc Reklau's guide, You Can Become Rich Too.
Yeah, and our core mission here, I think, is to move beyond just listing habits. We want to understand the psychology behind these 71 habits Reklau lays out.
Okay.
So for you listening, this means uncovering how to shift, how to transition from maybe a place of financial constraint or even anxiety to one of, well, abundance, real abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about spreadsheets and market mechanics, is it? It's about the mechanics of your own mind. We really have to start with that mental overhaul. That has to come before the bank account overhaul.
Right. Mindset first. So let's get into it. Part 1 is all about those foundational mindset habits 1 through 15. Where do we begin?
We begin at the beginning. Habit 1, embrace the power of habits.
Okay, the bedrock. And Reklau makes this crucial distinction here, doesn't he? He says habits are the secret sauce to millions, not chores, not something to dread.
Exactly. But why is that an emotional shift? Because most people know they should have good habits, right? We all know we should eat well, exercise, save money. Yet there's this resistance.
Yeah, definitely. Why is that?
Well, a lot of it comes down to relying on willpower. We think we just need to try harder. But willpower, as we know, it's finite. It's like a fuel tank that just drains throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Gets depleted.
Right. So people fail because they try to force these huge changes overnight, like going from totally chaotic spending to suddenly tracking every single receipt manually. It's just not sustainable for most.
Too much. Too soon.
Exactly. The emotional shift Reklau is pushing for is realizing that a small, consistent choice like, say, tracking just one category of your expenses daily, maybe just your coffee budget, that doesn't take some Herculean effort.
Okay.
It becomes a tiny, almost automated function. And in today's hustle culture, 2025, where information and temptations are just constant,
Oh, yeah. Well,
these small automated habits are probably the only reliable way to cut through all that financial noise and actually gain some clarity and control. That small choice, done consistently, it stacks up exponentially over time. It turns the whole financial journey from this exhausting sprint into, well, like an automated cruise control.
I like that. Cruise control. Okay. So that clarity built by consistent small actions, it leads right into habit 2, which is set clear, audacious goals. It can't just be a vague wish like, I want to be rich.
No, definitely not. Reklau insists goals must be specific. They need to light the path, basically, from just a dream to an actual reality.
How does specificity help?
Specificity generates momentum. Think about it. If your goal is just, I want to be debt-free, well, that's nice, but what do you do tomorrow morning? It's too vague.
Right. No clear action.
But if your goal is, okay, I will save exactly $500 by December 31st to make a specific contribution to my Roth IRA, boom, suddenly you have daily marching orders. You know how much you need to set aside each week or each month.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this with financial tools we use today, especially here in the US, like YNAB, you need a budget. Those apps almost force this precision, right? They often don't let you move forward until you assign every single dollar a job.
Yeah, I've used tools like that. It really makes you accountable.
It does. It takes that theoretical future wealth, that's the audacious part, the big dream, and it makes it a mundane, achievable task today. Without that clear target, all your discipline is just general effort. And general effort just gets dissipated, lost in the noise.
Okay, target acquired. And once that precise target is set, Reklau says we hit the accelerator with habit 3. Take immediate action. This feels like where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis.
Oh, massively. Hesitation is the absolute dream killer, as Reklau calls it. Especially now in the modern gig economy, waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan. It's really just a fancy form of procrastination.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. But the speed of execution right now is often way more valuable than the perfection of the plan. Reklau really advocates for that immediate spark. So instead of spending, say, 6 months drafting the perfect business plan for a side hustle,
Yeah.
just immediately pitch a small, low-risk gig. Go on Upwork or Fiverr tonight. Try to earn $50. That $50, even if it's small, it's psychological gold.
Why gold?
Because it confirms deep down, okay, I am capable of doing this. It shifts your identity instantly from planner to doer. Action is the only real antidote to inertia. You just got to start.
Get the ball rolling. Okay, makes sense. Now, the next phase seems to require more internal fortitude, starting with habit 4. Own 100% responsibility. Reklau calls this the raw truth, accepting that nobody is coming to save you financially.
Oof. Yeah, oof is right. This is maybe one of the hardest habits in the whole book because it means giving up the comfort of blame. It's just so much easier to blame, high inflation or your difficult boss or the crazy volatile stock market for your financial situation.
It feels better temporarily, maybe.
Temporarily, exactly. But Reklau argues that true financial freedom can only begin when you shed those excuses entirely. In an environment like we have now, with constant market swings, taking 100% charge means you own the path of every single dollar. You celebrate the wins, sure, but you also take full responsibility for the losses without letting them paralyze you.
So it shifts the power dynamic.
Completely. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you become the CEO, the chief executive of your own personal economy. You're in the driver's seat.
Which ties directly into habit 5. Ditch the victim mentality. So instead of asking, why me, when, say, a side venture fails or the market tanks,
you pivot. You become the hero of your own story, the one who rewrites the narrative. Look, when you start trying to build wealth, you will face rejection. You will face failure. It's pretty much inevitable, right?
Yeah, seems like
If
that.
you're carrying that victim mentality, that first failed crypto bet you made, or that client who suddenly canceled a contract, that feels like an absolute blockade, like proof that it's impossible for you.
Right. See? I knew it wouldn't work.
Exactly. But the wealth mindset, the one Reklau pushes, dictates that every setback is just data. It's information for the next better attempt. It's the difference between saying, ugh, this market is totally rigged, someone like me can't succeed, versus, okay, wow, I just learned a really expensive lesson there. Now how do I apply that knowledge to the next opportunity? It's proactive, not reactive.
Okay, learning from mistakes, not being defined by them. But this whole pursuit of wealth, it shouldn't feel crushingly stressful, right? Habit 6 is a welcome reminder. One step at a time. Reklau says overwhelm crushes dreams far more effectively than any single bad investment.
Oh, overwhelm is the silent dream killer. Absolutely. The modern financial landscape, let's face it, it's vast, it's complex. There are so many options, so much information.
It's dizzying sometimes.
Totally. And that's precisely why small, automated, predictable steps are fundamentally superior to these reckless, huge leaps people try to take. Don't try to suddenly save $5,000 this month if you've never saved before.
Right. Set yourself up for failure.
Exactly. Instead, maybe automate a $50 weekly transfer into a high-yield savings account. Just set it and forget it. The emotional reward of seeing that small, consistent amount actually grow month after month, it builds lasting confidence. It makes the next step, maybe bumping that transfer up to $75, feel completely manageable, not scary.
And the apps help with that now.
Oh, totally. Financial apps in 2025 are practically designed to leverage this psychology of tiny automated wins. They make consistency easy.
Okay, tiny steps. Now, to keep those steps moving towards a desirable future, Reklau really champions habit 7. Visualize your rich life daily. This sounds a bit out there. Is it just wishful thinking?
It can sound that way, but visualization, when done right, isn't just fluffy affirmation. Reklau presents it as building a detailed cognitive roadmap.
Okay, roadmap.
By spending dedicated time actually picturing that dream life, not just vaguely, but the specific feeling of financial ease, the type of work you'll be doing, the freedom it grants you, you are actively programming your brain's reticular activating system, the RAS.
The RAS, what's that?
It's like the filter in your brain. It helps you notice things relevant to your goals. So by visualizing wealth, you're essentially telling your RAS, hey, pay attention to opportunities related to this picture. It helps you spot things you might otherwise miss.
Ah, I see. So it primes your brain to notice relevant opportunities.
Exactly. It turns the nebulous idea of being rich into a specific mental blueprint that your brain can then work towards recognizing in the real world. And we see this connection in tech now too, right? People linking visualization to things like AI-generated vision boards. These tools make that mental blueprint even more concrete, more tangible. It's like actively tuning your mind to become a mental money magnet.
Interesting. Less magic, more cognitive training.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the internal anchors, the things that determine if you actually keep the money when you start making it. Habit 8. Cultivate gratitude for what you have. Why is gratitude considered a wealth multiplier? Seems counterintuitive.
It seems counterintuitive, but it acts as a crucial psychological counterbalance, especially today, to the comparison trap.
The social media effect.
Exactly. If you're constantly scrolling through platforms like X or Instagram in 2025, you're seeing these highly curated displays of luxury and success. It's so easy for scarcity thinking and envy to just take root in your mind. I don't have that. I'll never have that.
It can be demoralizing.
Totally. Gratitude helps you feel abundant right now with what you already have. When you genuinely appreciate the $500 you successfully saved this month, or the fact you have a roof over your head, you operate from a place of strength, of sufficiency, not desperation. And that shift critically changes how you approach things like negotiating salaries, how you handle setbacks, how you make investment decisions. Feeling abundant today, Reklau argues, is actually a precursor to achieving abundance tomorrow.
Operate from strength, not desperation. I like that. Now, habit 9 requires some potentially deep internal work. Rewrite your money story. This is about those narratives we carry, often from childhood, right? Things like money is the root of all evil, or we could never afford nice things, or maybe rich people are just greedy.
Oh, these narratives are incredibly powerful and often subconscious blockers. They can literally cause you to sabotage your own success when it starts to arrive.
Oh.
Because your internal script, the story you tell yourself, might be saying, I don't actually deserve this. Or maybe, if I become wealthy, I'll turn into a bad person, like maybe your parents believed. So when opportunity knocks, part of you pushes it away.
Wow. Okay, so how do you rewrite it?
The pivot, the conscious shift, is realizing you have the capacity to rewrite that script. It takes effort, but it's possible. So instead of that knee-jerk reaction, ugh, I can't afford that, you train yourself to pivot to a more empowering, forward-looking statement like, okay, I'm strategically investing in my skills so that I can afford that soon. Or how can I afford that?
Changes the frame completely.
Completely. And this is partly why things like online therapy or mindfulness apps, you mentioned BetterHelp in the outline, are seeing such a surge. People are recognizing that this kind of deep psychological work isn't just for major trauma, it's necessary for all kinds of personal growth, very much including financial growth. You have to address the underlying beliefs.
Which leads us straight into self-worth. Habit 10 is believe you're worthy of wealth, and habit 11 is about practicing positive self-talk. These seem closely linked.
Absolutely linked. Self-doubt is an absolute wealth killer, period. If, deep down, you don't believe you deserve success, you simply won't ask for the raise you've earned. You won't launch that side hustle you've been dreaming about. And you'll probably find ways to sabotage any good luck that does come your way because it doesn't fit your self-image.
Can you give an example?
Look at the creator economy today. Platforms like Patreon or Substack, they are potential gold mines, but primarily for individuals who deeply, genuinely believe in the value of their niche expertise or their art. They turn their conviction in their own worth into paid subscribers, into consistent income streams. Their belief comes first.
Okay, and the positive self-talk.
Habit 11 supports that belief directly. It's about actively replacing that critical inner dialogue. So consciously swapping out thoughts like, ugh, I'm so bad with money, I always have been, for something more empowering like, okay, I'm currently learning financial mastery and I'm improving rapidly. These constant affirmations, even the short, snappy ones trending on TikTok, they actually work over time because they start to reprogram your subconscious responses and assumptions about yourself and money.
Fake it till you make it, but with your internal monologue.
Kind of, but it's more like practice it till you become it. It's active mental training.
Got it. Okay, let's shift to the practical learning curve. Habit 12. Learn from failures fast. Reklau really wants us to reframe failure as just data, non-emotional data. A lesson, not some crushing defeat.
Yeah, and this is crucial in the fast-moving, sometimes high-stakes markets of 2025. You will experience financial flops if you're taking any kind of calculated risk. It's part of the game.
So say you make a small bet on an emerging tech stock or some crypto asset and it tanks. What then?
The key is not to dwell on the loss for months, beating yourself up. Analyze why it failed, quickly and objectively. Was your research flawed? Was the timing just bad luck? Was the risk bigger than you realized? Quick pivots are essential. Reklau literally talks about failure as expensive tuition.
Huh. I like that framing.
Right. The lesson you extract from that initial investment loss is often infinitely more valuable long-term than the actual money you lost. This mindset prevents that paralysis that stops people from trying again.
Okay, fail fast, learn faster. Now, to maybe minimize those expensive lessons in the first place, habit 13 is crucial. Surround yourself with winners. Reklau says ditching toxic naysayers has to be non-negotiable.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Your network really is your net worth in many ways. Toxic friends or family members who constantly criticize your financial ambitions or mock your attempts at productivity, they drain your emotional and mental energy. And that energy is a direct, critical resource for your wealth building capacity. You need mentors, peers, advisors who are already doing what you aspire to do, or who at least support your journey.
Where do you find these people if they aren't in your immediate circle?
Well, networking platforms are key today, especially professional communities online, or even high-quality finance threads on platforms like X. They allow you to connect with successful wealth builders globally. This gives you access to opportunities, advice, accountability, things you might never find just in your local town or social group. You have to actively cultivate that positive environment.
Makes sense. Seek out the supportive and knowledgeable. Habit 14 feels like a shortcut to that knowledge. Read wealth-building books weekly. Reklau says knowledge is free money.
It really is the ultimate shortcut. Why waste decades making the same mistakes that countless successful people have already documented in detail? It's inefficient.
Yeah, good point.
Reklau emphasizes the sheer joy and efficiency of cracking open classics. Think The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, or the classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or even finding high-quality, actionable financial guides and blogs online. There's so much out there.
What's the ROI he sees?
Think about it. If you spend $15 or $20 on a book, maybe an hour reading a detailed online guide, and you learn one key strategy that saves you $5,000 in taxes this year, or helps you earn an extra $2,000 from an investment, what's the return on investment there? It's astronomical. Reading is literally the shortcut to riches because it leverages other people's lifetime of experience.
Okay, gotta hit the books, or the e-reader.
Yeah.
And finally, for this foundational section, habit 15, meditate for financial clarity. Amidst all the economic chaos and information overload of 2025, Reklau argues that silencing the noise is essential to find your own unique money-making clarity. How does meditation help with finance?
It might seem disconnected, but meditation, maybe using apps like Headspace or Calm, is actually a strategic performance hack, not just some fluffy wellness trend.
Okay, how?
When your mind is constantly cluttered with anxiety about bills, fear about the stock market doing crazy things, endless distractions pinging on your phone, you tend to make highly emotional and usually suboptimal financial decisions. Impulse buys, panic selling.
Right, reacting instead of thinking.
Exactly. Even just a few minutes of quiet focus, of meditation, allows you to gain the emotional distance you need. That distance helps you spot a new investment opportunity calmly, or maybe realize a critical flaw in your current budgeting assumptions that you were too stressed to see before. It sharpens your wealth focus by basically calming down the emotional, reactive part of your brain.
Interesting. So it's about creating space for better decisions. Wow, that was a fantastic deep dive into just the first 15 habits, the mental foundation. It really is clear that wealth starts, well, it starts inside your head, doesn't it? In those quiet moments of reflection, decision, and belief.
Absolutely. The mind is the initial bank account. You have to get that right first.
Like, subscribe, and share for more update, and continue to next. All right, welcome back. We've laid the mental groundwork. Now we're moving from the internal, that crucial mindset, to the external, the measurable execution. Let's talk action and productivity habits, numbers 16 through 30.
Okay, kicking off with a famous one, and often a bit of a painful one for people. Habit 16, track every penny spent.
Yeah, the necessary wake-up call, as Reklau calls it.
Yeah.
I think the reason people resist tracking so much is the potential emotional pain, right? Confronting how much money might actually be slipping through the cracks.
Exactly. Most people know their big fixed costs, rent, mortgage, car payment, utilities, but it's the small leaks, the variable stuff. The daily coffee runs, those forgotten monthly subscriptions, the impulse Amazon clicks.
The death by 1,000 cuts.
Precisely. Those can easily amount to hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year. Using a budgeting app, something like Mint, or maybe the tools built into your bank like Fidelity's Full View, doing that consistently in 2025 is often the first, most humbling step towards real financial freedom. Because if you don't measure the leaks, you can never hope to plug them. You're just guessing.
Ignorance is bliss, but poverty isn't. Okay. So once you're measuring, Habit 17 hits hard. Create multiple income streams. Reklau warns pretty starkly that relying on just one job, one source of income, it just won't cut it for financial resilience today.
It's tough but true. Economic uncertainty, job market shifts, that feels like the new normal, doesn't it?
Yeah, things feel less stable maybe.
Definitely. If you rely solely on a single paycheck, you are basically one unexpected layoff or one major client loss if you're freelance, away from a potentially significant financial setback. It's precarious.
So what's the immediate action Reklau suggests?
Launch that side hustle. Start something. In the U.S. creator economy, that could be almost anything these days. Monetizing a hobby you love via an Etsy shop. Launching a small consulting service based on your professional skills. Building a high-value newsletter on Substack, sharing your expertise.
Diversify your income sources.
Exactly. The goal is to have active income, and ideally some potential for passive income flowing in from different directions. It creates a kind of fortress of financial stability, insulating you from shocks to any single source.
Okay, multiple streams flowing in. Now, before you start dumping all that new income into, say, volatile meme stocks, Habit 18 flips the script. Invest in yourself first. Reklau argues really strongly that your skills are your single greatest asset and continuing your education pays dividends forever. More so than stocks sometimes.
Often, yes, especially early on. The return on investment, the ROI on self-investment can be absolutely unmatched. Think about it. If you spend, say, $1,000 on a high-level online course through a platform like Udemy or maybe a local community college certificate program. And that new skill allows you to secure a 15% raise at your job or increase your freelance rate by $30 an hour for the rest of your career. How does that compare to a typical stock market return over the same period?
Yeah, the lifetime earnings impact could be huge.
Huge. In 2025, continuous learning, especially in high-demand areas like coding, AI literacy, digital marketing, skilled trades, it's basically non-negotiable for sustained wealth growth. Your earning potential is your foundation.
Got it. Sharpen the saw. Now, once that income is flowing, whether from your job or side hustles, we need to make saving effortless. Habit 19. Automate your savings. This is the classic pay yourself first principle, but made silent and, well, automatic.
Yeah, automation is key because it removes the need for decision-making and willpower entirely from the saving process. You don't have to decide to save each month. It just happens in the background.
Takes the friction out.
Completely. And the satisfaction comes later, right? When you casually check an app, maybe something like Acorns or Digit, and you see that, say, $75 weekly transfer that you barely even thought about has suddenly accumulated into a significant amount. Thousands of dollars, maybe. Automation is crucial because human willpower, as we said, is finite and unreliable. But compound interest, that's relentless and reliable if you feed it consistently.
Set it and forget it, let it grow. Okay, shifting gears slightly to productivity as a financial weapon. Habit 20. Say no to time wasters. Reklau is blunt. Time equals money. Reclaiming hours lost to low-value activities is essential for building wealth.
And this requires ruthless honesty with ourselves, doesn't it, about where our time actually goes.
Yeah.
In 2025, the major time wasters are often digitally based. The endless scrolling on social media, the constant newsfeed checking, the binge watching on streaming services.
The algorithms are designed to hook us.
They are literally designed very effectively to capture your focus. And your focus, Reklau argues, is your single most valuable resource for wealth generation. He calls focus the superpower. If you can reclaim, say, just 2 hours a day that were previously lost to distraction, that's 10 extra hours a week. 10 hours you can dedicate to building that side hustle or doing that deep dive into investment research or taking that online course we just talked about. You have to guard your time fiercely.
Be intentional with your focus, okay? And to maximize those reclaimed hours, Habit 21 brings in the famous 80-20 rule, The Pareto principle.
Yeah.
Prioritize the high-impact tasks.
Yeah, this is such a classic productivity concept, but so relevant to finance. We often equate being busy with being productive, and Reklau says that's a dangerous trap.
Doing lots of stuff versus doing the right stuff.
Exactly. Reklau reminds us that often something like 80% of your financial results, your income, your savings growth, comes from just 20% of your actual effort. The key is identifying and then ruthlessly focusing on that small percentage of high-leverage tasks.
Like what? Give me an example.
Maybe it's writing that one critical client pitch that could land a 5-figure contract.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's spending a focused afternoon optimizing a single passive income stream that could double its yield. Or maybe it's finally sitting down and creating that automated savings plan. These are the tasks that make all the administrative busy work, checking email constantly, shuffling papers pale in comparison. Finding and executing on that critical 20% is vital, especially in the modern work environment where maximizing profit often means minimizing time on non-essential fluff.
Focus on the vital few, not the trivial many.
Okay.
Habit 22 links productivity back to our personal schedule. Build a morning wealth ritual. Reklau suggests setting the tone for the day leads to greater ownership and provides powerful productivity hacks.
How you begin your day really does set its financial velocity, doesn't it? If you roll out of bed and immediately start reacting to emails and news alerts, you're already behind.
Yeah, feels like you're fighting fires all day.
Right. But a consistent morning routine, maybe involving some journaling about your goals, some visualization like we discussed, maybe some focused physical activity, it gives you a proactive win before the demands of the day start pulling you into reactive mode. It ensures you are directing your day rather than just responding to it. That sense of ownership over your morning, Reklau believes, sets a powerful template for owning your finances throughout the day.
Start the day strong. And finally, for this section, a habit that definitely requires some courage and that self-belief we talked about earlier. Habit 23, negotiate everything. Reklau insists your voice adds value, and you need the courage to haggle bills, car prices, salary increases, freelance rates, everything.
This is such a fundamental wealth-building skill, and it pays immediate, measurable dividends. The thrill, the immediate rush of saving, say, $100 on a recurring monthly bill just by asking, or successfully negotiating an extra $1,000 on a freelance contract. That's pure profit straight into your pocket.
But a lot of people hate negotiating. It feels confrontational.
It can feel that way, absolutely. The key, Reklau suggests, is to frame the negotiation around value and market rate, not personal need. It's not about begging, it's about demonstrating worth. And doing your research beforehand, on freelance platforms especially, negotiation isn't just some optional bonus that's often expected, it's king. You simply have to believe in the value you provide enough to confidently, professionally ask for what it's worth. And maintain the relationship, of course.
Value, not need.
Oh.
Okay, moving into execution speed, review, and delegation. Habit 24 is intense. Launch side hustles ruthlessly. Act fast. Test ideas in days, not months. Speed beats perfection.
Yeah, this is where action decisively overcomes that analysis paralysis we mentioned. So many potential entrepreneurs get stuck waiting for the perfect branding, the perfect website, the perfect business plan, and they never actually launch anything.
The someday I'll.
Exactly. Reklau champions getting a minimum viable product, a really simple service offered, maybe a basic blog post with an affiliate link that earns just $10, get it out the door as quickly as humanly possible. That tiny $10 isn't about the money itself. It's valuable feedback. It's psychological confirmation. Okay, this can work. The gig economy, the online world, it doesn't reward perfectionism. It rewards demonstrable results and quick iteration based on feedback.
Get something out there, learn, adjust.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
it. Now, once things are launched and money starts moving, you have to maintain vigilance. Habit 25, review finances weekly.
This prevents disasters, basically. It's just too easy for a small budget slip, maybe that extra weekend spending spree, to snowball into a huge, unmanageable problem if you only look at it once a month, or worse, only when there's a crisis.
The weekly check-in.
Yeah. Using tools like Rocket Money, maybe Copilot, or even just a simple spreadsheet you update every Friday. It allows you to effortlessly review your spending, catch those slips early, and redirect funds immediately if needed. This regular, quick, non-judgmental touchpoint feels like a small win each week, and it proactively prevents major financial emergencies down the line. Consistency is key.
Stay on top of it. Now, if you're doing well, generating income, tracking it, you'll eventually hit a point where Habit 26 becomes relevant. Delegate low-value work, freeing up your time for those high-leverage 80-20 tasks by outsourcing chores or administrative work.
This is a big mental leap for some people, but truly wealthy individuals, Reklau observes, focus relentlessly on their unique ability, the tasks that only they can perform that generate massive value. Everything else, ideally, it should be delegated.
But hiring help costs money, doesn't it?
It does, but the emotional and strategic shift is realizing that your time, when spent on your highest value tasks, is worth significantly more per hour than the cost of hiring, say, a virtual assistant through platforms like Fiverr or Upwork to handle your email sorting, scheduling, or basic bookkeeping. Delegation isn't an expense, it's an investment in leverage. You're buying back your most valuable asset, your focus time.
Trading dollars for high-value hours. Okay. Now for the habits connecting physical well-being directly to financial intelligence. Habit 7.
Yeah.
Exercise for sharp money decisions. A strong body fuels a rich mind. This isn't just about health.
Reklau argues it's absolutely a financial performance hack. Regular exercise demonstrably reduces stress hormones like cortisol, and it increases focus and cognitive function.
How does that help with money?
It allows you to calmly analyze complex investment data without freaking out during market dips. It helps you spot new business opportunities that anxiety or mental fog might otherwise obscure. That feeling of clarity and energy you get after a good run or workout session, maybe you track it on an app like Strava, that mental sharpness is priceless for making sound financial strategy decisions. It's not just about physical health, it's about mental capital.
Okay, move your body, sharpen your financial mind. Makes sense. Habit 28 is related. Sleep like a millionaire.
Yeah.
Rest is non-negotiable for decision-making power.
Absolutely non-negotiable. We often treat sleep like a luxury, something to cut back on when we're busy. But Reklau points out that poor sleep leads directly to decreased cognitive function, which translates directly into poor financial decisions. More impulse buying, more emotional spending, weakened negotiation skills because you're just too tired to think clearly or advocate for yourself. If you're consistently sleep deprived, you are inherently disadvantaged in basically every financial interaction you have.
So sleep isn't lazy, it's strategic.
Totally. And you see this emphasis now with modern sleep technology, things like the Aura Ring tracking your sleep stages or specialized mattress sensors. People are starting to treat rest as a crucial, optimizable input for peak performance, including financial performance, not just some passive requirement you fulfill when you collapse.
Optimize your sleep for optimal finances. Interesting. Habit 29 helps build that positive momentum we keep talking about. Journal your wins daily.
Yeah, this is about consistent positive reinforcement. Actively writing down your daily victories, even the micro wins like successfully saved $40 by meal prepping instead of eating out or made my automated investment transfer, it compounds your confidence and your drive over time.
Like building evidence for your success.
Exactly. Tools like Notion or even just a simple physical notebook or digital journal make this seamless. You create a visual and written record of your progress. This constant reinforcement helps prevent the occasional market setback or that client who ghosted you from completely derailing your motivation. You can look back and see how far you've actually come.
Focus on progress, not perfection. And finally, for this action-oriented section, Habit 30. Experiment with bold risks. Calculated risks, Reklau says, build empires. This sounds a bit contradictory to the small steps idea.
It's about balance, right? You absolutely cannot achieve exceptional wealth by playing it completely safe all the time. Saving diligently is crucial, but true growth often requires stepping outside the comfort zone. Reklau encourages the controlled, emotional rush of investing a small, calculated amount, maybe it's $500, maybe $100, money you can genuinely afford to lose into something like a new tech IPO you've researched or a specific crypto trend you believe has potential.
So it's not gambling your life savings.
Definitely not. It's about learning to manage risk, not avoid it entirely. It's about getting comfortable with uncertainty on a small scale. In the volatile markets we often see in 2025, making these kinds of smart, informed bets with capital, you're okay losing. That's basically your tuition for potentially making much larger, more impactful gains in the future. It separates the passive savers from the active wealth builders.
Learn to handle calculated risk. Okay, that wraps up the action and productivity habits. Lots to chew on there.
Definitely. Putting the mindset into motion.
Like, subscribe, and share for more update, and continue to next.
All right, welcome back. We've covered the mindset foundation and the action habits. Now we transition into part 3, financial mastery habits. Habits 31 through 50. This is about systematically growing and, crucially, protecting the wealth and income streams you've hopefully started to establish.
Okay, mastery. Sounds important. Habit 31 challenges a lot of negative feelings people have. Budget with joy. not restriction. How is that even possible? Budgeting feels like dieting for your wallet.
That reframing is absolutely essential, Reklau argues. We often view budgeting as deprivation, as saying no to everything fun, but he champions reframing it as empowerment.
Empowerment.
The goal is to create what he calls a joyful budget. This means you intentionally, consciously allocate guilt-free spending money towards the things that genuinely bring you pleasure. Maybe it's travel, a specific hobby, dining out with friends. When the budget is clear and that fun money is allocated, you can spend it without any fear or guilt. You know your bills are covered, your savings are automated. This spending is planned enjoyment.
So it's about permission to spend, not just restriction.
Exactly. Especially as things like inflation rates fluctuate, having a joyful budget allows you to seize opportunities for enjoyment or good deals without being paralyzed by that constant scarcity fear. It puts you in control.
Okay, a budget that gives you permission. I like that. Habit 32 is straightforward but often intimidating for beginners. Learn basic investing today. Reklau says, don't wait until you have tens of thousands saved. Just start now, even small.
Yeah, the barrier to entry for investing has fallen dramatically, hasn't it? The rise of low-cost brokerage platforms, fractional shares. It's fundamentally democratized investing.
So just dive in.
Pretty much. Reklau emphasizes the psychological power, the thrill, of buying your very first small share of, say, a broad market ETF or even a stock in a company you recognize and use. You don't need a finance degree overnight. You need to start learning the basic language of the market. What is an index fund? How does compound interest actually work? The key is overcoming the inertia, the fear, that keeps so many people sitting entirely in cash, losing purchasing power to inflation. Start small, start consistent, start now.
Dip your toe in the water. Okay. Now, once you start earning more, maybe that side hustle takes off, you face a big test with Habit 33. Avoid lifestyle inflation.
Ah, yes, the silent wealth killer. This is a major emotional hurdle for almost everyone who starts earning significantly more money.
It's tempting, right? Your income doubles, you want the bigger house, the fancier car.
It's incredibly tempting.
Yeah.
Just because your side hustle is suddenly bringing in an extra $5,000 a month doesn't mean you immediately need that new luxury SUV or a sprawling McMansion. Reklau really advocates for maintaining financial humility even as income grows.
So where should the extra money go?
Direct that extra cash towards actual wealth accumulation. Pour it into investments. Aggressively pay down the principal on debt. Build up that high-yield savings account. Resisting the intense pressure of 2025's influencer culture, which constantly pushes immediate, visible consumption. Resisting that is a true sign of financial maturity. You're choosing future freedom over present flash.
Delayed gratification on a bigger scale. Okay. And that maturity provides security, which brings us to Habit 34. Build an emergency fund fortress. A substantial cash cushion equals security, and Reklau says, priceless peace of mind.
The relief that comes from having a solid emergency fund, it's genuinely unshakable. In today's often uncertain economy, having, say, 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses saved up in easily accessible cash, which for many Americans could be $10,000, $20,000, or even more, that ensures true financial resilience.
How does it provide peace of mind?
Think about it. If you unexpectedly lose your job or face a sudden large medical bill or the car transmission just dies, you don't have to panic. You don't have to immediately go into high-interest credit card debt or raid your retirement accounts. That liquid security, that cash buffer, it allows you to weather storms. And paradoxically, it also allows you to take more calculated risks in your investments because you know your core survival needs are protected.
The safety net lets you climb higher. Makes sense. Moving to optimization habits, Habit 35 is another one that can feel counterintuitive for people focused on accumulation. Give generously. How does giving help you get rich?
Reklau frames this psychologically, linking back to that abundance mindset we talked about with gratitude. He argues that wealth tends to flow back to you when you operate from a genuine mindset of abundance, not scarcity.
How does giving reinforce that?
The act of donating, even if it's just $50, and feeling genuinely abundant in that moment, I have enough to share, it reinforces the psychological belief that you do have more than enough. It breaks the scarcity cycle. And in 2025, tools like crowdfunding platforms, a GoFundMe, or charity rating sites allow you to see the tangible impact your contribution makes, which strengthens that abundance feedback loop. It's not just altruism, though that's important. Reklau presents it as a practice that cultivates the very mindset needed for attracting more wealth.
Give to feel abundant and attract more abundance. Interesting take. Habit 36 ensures we maintain that financial efficiency. Audit expenses quarterly. Wait, Didn't we already cover tracking every penny?
We did. That was habit 16, the daily or weekly tracking. This is different. This is a higher level strategic review. You might track every coffee daily, but the quarterly audit is where you step back and look for bigger patterns, systemic leaks, or subscriptions you've forgotten about.
The bigger picture review.
Exactly. The satisfaction of using an app, maybe Truebill, Trim, or similar services, to effortlessly scan your accounts and catch, say, an unused $30 monthly subscription for that streaming service you signed up for a free trial of 6 months ago. That's pure profit. You cut it and immediately redirect that $360 a year towards your investments or savings goals. It's like a regular tune-up for your financial engine, constantly tightening the operational screws.
Find the forgotten leaks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, habit 37 is essential risk management for anyone investing. Diversify investments wisely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Such a fundamental principle, but easy to forget when one particular stock or asset class is soaring. Diversification, spreading your investments across different types of assets like stocks, U.S. and international bonds, maybe some real estate like REITs, and perhaps a small, calculated percentage in alternative assets like crypto or commodities. It provides crucial emotional steadiness.
How does it provide steadiness?
Because when one sector is struggling, like tech stocks taking a hit, another sector, maybe healthcare or consumer staples, might be holding steady or even growing. It smooths out the ride, avoiding the extreme emotional and financial swings of betting everything on a single company stock or one volatile crypto coin. That's the hallmark of a savvy, long-term investor looking for sustainable growth, not just lottery tickets.
Spread the risk, stabilize the returns. Got it. Habit 38 requires some proactive learning and maybe professional help. Seek tax-smart strategies, keeping more of what you earn legally.
Yes. This isn't about shady loopholes. It's about understanding and utilizing the legitimate deductions, credits, and account types the tax code allows. Reklau stresses that saving money on taxes should be approached with the same enthusiasm as earning money in the first place.
It's like getting a raise from the government, kind of.
Exactly. He talks about the thrill of maximizing your deductions. For example, people starting a side hustle often completely overlook crucial deductions like the qualified business income, QBI deduction, legitimate home office expenses, or the deductibility of self-employed health insurance premiums.
So using tools or professionals?
Absolutely. Using tax software like TurboTax Self-Employed, or better yet, working with a qualified accountant who understands your specific situation, allows you to actively seek out and maximize these savings. The money you keep through smart tax planning is often more impactful than earning the same amount extra because you didn't have to work more hours for it.
Keep more of what you make. Smart. Now, Habit 39 gets to a core principle that really differentiates the rich from the perpetually struggling, according to many experts. Buy assets, not liabilities.
This is the absolute bedrock rule of financial gravity, isn't it? Buy things that put money into your pocket over time, not things that constantly take money out.
Define asset and liability simply.
An asset is something like a rental property that generates monthly cash flow, dividend-paying stocks, bonds that pay interest, or a profitable business you own. A liability is something like a fancy car that depreciates rapidly and costs money for insurance, gas, and repairs, or consumer debt that charges high interest.
So the emotional shift is what?
It's consciously choosing to allocate your capital, say, that down payment money towards acquiring a potential cash-flowing asset, like maybe a small rental property you've researched using Zillow for local comps and rent estimates, instead of purchasing a brand new, rapidly depreciating liability like the latest luxury phone or car. Assets earn, compound, and build wealth. Liabilities drain cash and hinder wealth building. It's a fundamental choice you make repeatedly.
Choose things that make money over things that cost money. Seems obvious, but hard in practice.
Yeah.
Okay, habits 40 and 41 tackle measurement and a major menace. Habit 40 is tracking net worth monthly. Why net worth, not just income or savings?
Because net worth gives you the total financial picture. It's your assets, what you own, savings, investments, property equity, minus your liabilities, what you owe, debts, loans, mortgages. Reklau describes tracking this monthly as potentially addictive in a good way.
Addictive joy. How?
Seeing that overall number grow, using apps like Personal Capital, Empower, or even a detailed spreadsheet makes it almost seamless to see that maybe your net worth grew by $5,000 this month, even if your cash savings didn't change much because your investments went up. It provides instant, objective motivation and helps you understand the true scale of your progress, far beyond just looking at your checking account balance. It's the ultimate financial scorecard.
Okay, track the big number. Then habit 41 is the defensive counterpart. Avoid debt traps, especially high-interest debt.
Oh, High-interest consumer debt, particularly revolving credit card debt with rates often exceeding 20%, is an absolute dream killer. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. It actively funnels your hard-earned money straight into the pockets of creditors, working against your wealth-building efforts every single day.
It cancels out your progress.
Completely. The emotional freedom, the relief that comes from aggressively paying off that high-interest debt is just unmatched, especially in an environment like 2025 where interest rates might be higher or more volatile. Avoiding toxic debt and strategically eliminating any you already have is perhaps the most crucial form of wealth preservation and acceleration. Get rid of the anchor holding you back.
Cut the anchor.
Okay.
Moving into learning, protecting, and legacy. Habit 42 shifts the focus outward, but Reklau says it reinforces internal learning. Mentor others on money. How does teaching help you?
It's that old saying, to teach is to learn twice. When you take the time to explain a concept, maybe helping a friend set up their first budget using the principles you've learned, or explaining how their 401k works, or sharing strategies from Reklau's book, it forces you to clarify and solidify that knowledge in your own mind.
You have to really understand it to explain it simply.
Exactly. And platforms today, like dedicated X communities or local meetups, make mentoring scalable. You can help others grow your network, build goodwill, and reinforce your own financial expertise all at the same time. It's a win-win-win.
Pay it forward, learn it better. Habits 43 and 44 focus on external awareness and being proactive. First, stay informed on market trends. Habit 43. Knowledge beats luck.
Always. You don't need to be a day trader, but you do need to actively follow reliable financial news sources. Think Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, maybe reputable financial podcasts, or high-value finance commentators on X to understand the macro trends. Is there a major shift happening in AI that impacts certain sectors? How might Federal Reserve policy changes affect interest rates or your investments?
So it's about informed decisions, not just reacting.
Precisely. The excitement, Reklau suggests, comes from spotting a genuine, informed opportunity based on your understanding of these trends, rather than just gambling or following hype. It keeps you engaged and proactive in managing your financial future.
Stay curious, stay informed, and the proactive part continues with Habit 44. Refinance when rates drop. This sounds like active management.
It is. This is a savvy move that can potentially save you thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of a major loan, like a mortgage or student loans. Imagine if interest rates fluctuate downward significantly in late 2025 or 2026.
You could lower your payment or shorten the term.
Exactly. But you have to be informed about current rates, ready to calculate the break-even point considering closing costs, and prepared to act reasonably quickly to lock in those lower rates. Refinancing strategically frees up significant cash flow each month, which you can then redirect straight into investments or other wealth-building goals. It's optimizing your existing liabilities.
Be ready to seize opportunities to lower costs. Okay, habits 45 and 46 cover foundational long-term security. Fund retirement early and often, habit 45, and insure against the unexpected, habit 46. These feel like non-negotiables.
Absolutely foundational. For habit 45, funding retirement future you deserves to be wealthy too. The emotional security that comes from seeing a consistently growing 401k, or maximizing contributions to tax-advantaged accounts like a Roth IRA or a solo 401k if you're self-employed. It ensures your future well-being isn't solely reliant on your ability to keep hustling forever. Using tools like robo-advisors, Wealthfront Betterment can automate this process.
Start early, be consistent, and insurance.
Habit 46, insurance, is about protecting those hard-won gains. All your diligent saving and investing can be wiped out in an instant by a major unexpected event, a serious illness, a car accident causing liability, a fire at home. Having the right types and amounts of insurance, health, auto, homeowners, renters, maybe disability, and umbrella liability is crucial. Platforms like Policy Genius can help simplify comparing and buying policies, ensuring a catastrophe doesn't derail your entire financial plan. It's the moat around your financial castle.
Protect your assets.
Yeah.
Okay, finishing this critical section, habits 47 through 50 focus on smart living and flexibility. Habit 47, shop for value, not brand.
This is a philosophical habit as much as a financial one. It's about consciously choosing function and quality over just paying a premium for a label or status symbol.
Like buying generic groceries or store brands.
That's a classic example. Saving $50 on generic medications or pantry staples feels great because that $50 saved is immediately available to fuel your investments or savings goals. It aligns perfectly with some of the minimalist or anti-consumerist trends we see in 2025. You're prioritizing long-term financial freedom and asset growth over temporary external validation from owning the right brands.
Value over vanity. Habit 48 is about looking beyond yourself, creating a legacy plan, a will, a trust.
Yes, true wealth, Reklau implies, extends beyond your own lifetime. This habit is about securing your family's financial future and ensuring your assets are distributed according to your wishes and values after you're gone. Setting up even a simple will, or perhaps a trust depending on your situation, it provides immense peace of mind. And tools like Trust and Will or LegalZoom are making basic estate planning much more accessible and less intimidating than it used to be. It ensures your financial efforts benefit the next generation smoothly.
Plan for the future beyond your future. Okay, habit 49 brings back the joy, celebrating milestones.
Yes, joy drives progress, doesn't it? It's so important to pause and acknowledge your achievements along the way. Toast that $5,000 savings goal you hit. Take that small, guilt-free weekend trip you budgeted for. Share your win on X or with your supportive network for community encouragement. This positive reinforcement validates all the hard work and discipline, making the long journey of wealth building feel enjoyable and sustainable, not just a grind.
Reward yourself to stay motivated.
Mhm.
And finally, habit 50 acknowledges reality. Adjust for life changes. Life isn't static.
Especially not in the dynamic 2025 economy, right?
Hmm?
Job changes, starting a family, moving, market shifts. Life happens. Maintaining emotional steadiness and financial stability means being proactive about tweaking your budgets, your investment strategies, and your overall financial plan when these major life changes occur. You can't just set it and forget it forever. Flexibility and proactive adaptation are the absolute keys to long-term financial resilience and success. Be ready to pivot.
Be adaptable. Wow, another packed section on mastery.
Growing and protecting. Critical stuff.
Like, subscribe, and share for more update, and continue to next.
All right, we've journeyed through mindset, action, and mastery. Welcome back as we tackle the final section, part 4, advanced and long-term habits, habits 51 through 71. These are really about sustaining and multiplying significant wealth over the long haul.
Yeah, this is where we move from building the foundation to really constructing the skyscraper, so to speak. Kicking off with habit 51, scale what works.
Scale what works. So this is about leverage, right? Moving beyond just trading your own time for money. Exactly. This is where you potentially transition from being a solo hustler to becoming a system builder and entrepreneur. If you have a side hustle that's proving successful, maybe it's consistently earning $500 or $1,000 a week, Reklau urges you to double down on those winners.
I'd be a double down.
By building automated systems around it, maybe hiring your first virtual assistant or employee, expanding your marketing reach, potentially turning that successful small service into a scalable operation using platforms like Shopify for e-commerce or building out a repeatable process. Scaling means taking something that demonstrably works and building systems so that its growth is no longer solely dependent on your direct hours worked. You're removing yourself as the bottleneck.
That's systems, not just jobs for yourself.
Okay.
Habit 52 is critical in our hyper-connected digital age. Build a personal brand. Reklau says you are your best asset.
Absolutely. A strong, positive, reputable personal brand acts like a permanent magnet for opportunities, partnerships, clients, and ultimately wealth. Think about it. The potential impact of a single viral, genuinely high-value post on LinkedIn or X in 2025 can be immense.
How does it attract wealth?
It positions you as an expert, a trusted authority in your niche. This leads to clients and partners actively seeking you out, rather than you constantly having to chase them down. Your reputation, carefully built and maintained, starts to compound wealth almost faster than any other non-liquid asset you might own. People want to work with and buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Your reputation precedes you. Got it. Habit 53 recognizes the limits of going it alone, especially at higher levels. Collaborate for bigger wins.
True. Exponential growth, the kind that builds significant lasting wealth, is very often achieved through leverage, and collaboration is a powerful form of leverage. Partnerships can amplify your reach, your resources, and your profits far beyond what you could likely achieve solo.
Like joint ventures.
Exactly. The excitement and potential of a strategic joint venture may be found through focused networking on platforms like LinkedIn, a partnership where, say, combining complementary skills or audiences effectively doubles both partners' returns. That showcases the incredible power of synergy. Wealth creation at the higher levels is very often a team sport played among high achievers who understand the value of collaboration.
1 + 1 = 3.
But
Okay. And Habit 54 ensures your wealth and your business remains relevant and continues growing. Innovate constantly. Stay fresh. Launch new ideas and services. Complacency is dangerous.
innovation is basically survival in the rapid, often AI-driven business world of 2025. What worked brilliantly last year, maybe your manual content creation strategy or specific marketing channel, might be completely obsolete or inefficient today because technology shifted.
So you always have to be looking ahead.
Constantly. Reklau stresses the absolute necessity of launching new services or product features, adopting new, more efficient technologies, and constantly finding better ways to deliver value to your customers or clients. If you're not actively moving forward, experimenting, and adapting, you are effectively falling behind. Stagnation is the beginning of decline in a dynamic market.
Keep evolving. Okay, shifting back to the inner game. Sustaining wealth requires intense psychological resilience. That's why Habit 55 is so vital. Forgive financial mistakes, even the big ones.
Yeah, this is huge. The emotional release that comes from genuinely letting go of a past bad investment, maybe that stock that crashed hard or the business venture that failed spectacularly and lost money, it's critical. Why? Because dwelling on those past failures, replaying them over and over, paralyzes future action. It makes you afraid to take any risk again.
So grace is a wealth tool.
It's an absolutely necessary wealth tool. In volatile markets where taking calculated risks often means experiencing occasional losses, sometimes significant ones, you must be able to treat the loss as a closed chapter, learn the lesson, forgive yourself and maybe others involved, and move on mentally to the next opportunity. Holding on to financial regret is like carrying heavy baggage that slows you down.
Let it go. Okay. Habit 56 feels like the core philosophy underpinning much of Reklau's approach. Serve others first. Create value, and wealth will follow.
This is the heart of sustainable wealth creation, isn't it? It's not primarily accumulated by taking or tricking people. It's built fundamentally on solving complex, often painful problems for other people and doing it effectively, ideally at scale.
So focus on the value you provide.
Absolutely. The immense satisfaction and the eventual financial rewards that come from solving a client's really intricate problem or creating a product that genuinely improves people's lives that leads to exponential returns. Why? Because your reputation for delivering tangible value precedes you. Referrals flow in, customers become loyal, you get rich, sustainably, by consistently making other people's lives objectively better or easier. Focus on service and the money tends to follow.
Value creation attracts riches. Okay. Habits 57 and 58 bring us full circle on themes we touched on earlier. Gratitude and mentorship, but at a higher level. Habit 57, reflect on gratitude yearly. A dedicated audit.
Yeah, think of it as an annual strategic review, but for your abundance mindset. Taking dedicated time once a year to consciously reflect on and appreciate all the progress you've made, the lessons learned, the people who helped you, the resources you have. It resets and reinforces that feeling of abundance. It fuels your persistence for the next cycle of goal setting and execution. It's a moment of calm, measured appreciation that prevents the constant, frantic hustle from completely obscuring the immense success you might have already achieved. It keeps you grounded and motivated.
The annual gratitude check-in. And Habit 58, mentor the next generation. Solidify your legacy by passing on your knowledge.
This feels like the final phase of mastery, doesn't it? When you reach a certain level of success and wisdom, the emotional high, the sense of purpose that comes from actively teaching a younger relative, a colleague, or someone in your community those crucial budgeting skills, guiding them through their first hesitant stock purchase, helping them avoid the common debt pitfalls you maybe fell into. It's profound. You secure your own legacy, in part, by ensuring the success and financial literacy of those who follow you, and as we said before, you often reinforce and clarify your own knowledge deeply in the process of teaching it.
Leave a legacy of financial wisdom.
Powerful.
Okay. Integrating technology, balance, and networking. Habit 59 is critical for long-term health and sanity. Balance work with wealth joy. Burnout blocks riches.
Oh, the always-on hustle till you drop culture. It's the absolute quickest route to burnout. And burnout leads directly to decreased cognitive function, poor decision quality, and ultimately it can completely halt your wealth generation.
So taking time off isn't lazy.
Reklau argues it's the opposite, prioritizing a weekend genuinely unplugged, taking regular vacations that you budget for joyfully, remember Habit 31, or even just building short breaks into your daily routine. This is not laziness. It is an essential investment in your most valuable asset, your mental and physical energy. If you burn out completely, you stop creating value, you stop earning, you stop growing wealth. Balance isn't a luxury. It's the ultimate wealth preserver for the long game.
Recharge to stay in the game.
Got it.
Habit 60 is about embracing the future, adapt to tech shifts, use new tools.
Technology is arguably your most powerful potential lever for optimization, efficiency, and insight in the modern world. We need to be curious about and excited by new tools, not intimidated by them.
Like using AI for investing.
Exactly. For example, in late 2025, using advanced analytical AI models may be a platform that provides deep market analysis, sentiment tracking, or identifies unusual trading patterns in specific sectors you might have otherwise missed. That means you're constantly optimizing your decision-making process. These tools can give you a crucial edge, helping you process more information more effectively for things like stock picking, market timing, or even running your business more efficiently. You have to stay current.
Leverage the tools available. Okay, Habit 61 and 62 focus on crucial soft skills. Habit 61 sounds fun. Strike the superhero pose daily. Seriously.
Haha, yes, seriously. It references that famous social psychology research suggesting that adopting power poses, standing tall, open posture, can actually boost your feelings of confidence and potentially influence hormonal levels related to stress and risk tolerance, even it just temporarily.
So, a quick confidence hack.
Exactly. Simple mindset and body language hacks can be surprisingly powerful. Doing a quick power pose before a critical pitch, a tough negotiation, or even just starting your workday, it can give you that small internal boost in confidence. And confidence, as we know, drives deals, commands respect, and influences outcomes. It's a small habit with potentially significant downstream effects.
Stand tall, feel
Helps.
confident. And Habit 62. Nurture key relationships.
Yeah.
People open doors.
Absolutely critical. Technology and money are powerful, but they can't replace genuine human connection and trust. The warmth, quality, and strength of your key relationships, whether you're building wealth bridges via strategic LinkedIn connections, maintaining strong ties with mentors, or nurturing trust through direct professional communication with clients and partners, often determine the quality of the opportunities that actually come your way. You need to invest time and genuine attention in cultivating and maintaining these relationships. They are invaluable assets.
Relationships are wealth, too. Habit 63 speaks to our environment. Declutter for mental space. Physical and digital clutter.
There's a strong connection, Reklau suggests, between your external environment and your internal state. Simplicity sharpens financial strategy. A cluttered, chaotic desk, an overflowing email inbox, a disorganized digital file system. These often lead to a cluttered, reactive, overwhelmed mind.
Clear space, clear mind.
That's the idea. Connecting a clean, organized workspace and a streamlined digital life to increased focus, reduce stress, and better strategic thinking aligns perfectly with the minimalist wave we've seen. Physical and digital order facilitates the mental clarity required for complex financial planning and decision-making. Reduce the noise, improve the signal.
Tidy up for better thinking. Okay, finishing strong with community, frugality, and lifelong growth. Habits 64 and 65 relate to giving back and purpose. Habit 64, volunteer your expertise.
This is different from just donating money. Habit 35. This is about giving your valuable time and specialized skills. Volunteering your expertise, maybe advising a local startup you believe in, serving on a nonprofit board using your financial acumen, mentoring young entrepreneurs for free, perhaps finding opportunities via platforms like Volunteer Match. It builds powerful, often unexpected networks.
How does it build networks differently?
It creates deep goodwill and exposes you to people and ideas in a context that purely paid networking events often can't replicate. People see your skills and your generosity in action. It opens doors based on trust and shared purpose.
Give skills, gain connections. And Habit 65, tracking philanthropy impact. Measure the good you do.
This connects back to purpose. Measuring the actual ripple effect of your giving, whether time or money, perhaps using specific apps or charity reports designed to track impact, it fuels your sense of purpose. When you can see tangible evidence that your generosity is making a real difference in the world, it powerfully strengthens that abundance mindset and provides deep motivation that drives continued wealth creation. It connects your financial success to a larger meaning.
See the difference you make. Habits 66 and 67 address dynamic planning and our relationship with stuff. Habit 66, evolve your goals annually. Keep raising the bar.
Growth is mandatory for sustained engagement and motivation, Reklau argues. Complacency sets in if your goals stay static for too long. He insists you consciously upgrade your targets each year. If you crushed your $10,000 savings goal this year, the excitement and challenge for next year come from setting the next bigger goal. Maybe it's $25,000, maybe it's launching a new income stream. Your goals must constantly stretch you and keep pace with your expanding capacity and ambition.
Always be reaching. And habit 67, embrace frugality as freedom. Skipping trends for savings. This sounds like habit 47 again.
Similar theme, but maybe a deeper philosophical embrace. Habit 47 was about shopping for value. This is more about seeing frugality itself not as deprivation, but as a source of freedom. It's the anti-consumerism wealth hack.
How is being frugal freedom?
Because consciously choosing not to chase the latest trends, not to constantly upgrade your possessions, not to acquire unnecessary stuff, it means lower fixed costs. It means less financial dependence. It means you need less income to cover your baseline needs, which gives you more options to invest more, to work less, to pursue passion projects. Strategic frugality, Reklau suggests, buys you the ultimate luxury, control over your time and choices.
Less stuff, more freedom.
Okay.
Finally, habit 68 through 71 offer the ultimate prosperity blueprint. Habit 68, live authentically wealthy, aligning your money with your core values.
This is about defining what wealth truly means to you, beyond just the dollar amount. True riches, Reklau suggests, are found in internal peace and alignment. If accumulating wealth requires you to constantly operate outside your core values, compromise your integrity, or sacrifice your health and relationships, you won't actually feel wealthy, even if your bank account is huge. Authenticity means consciously using money as a tool to support the life you genuinely want. Maybe buying back your time, funding meaningful experiences, supporting causes you believe in rather than just accumulating objects for status. That's the ultimate wealth flex in 2025.
Wealth aligned with values. Habit 69 reinforces balance. Prioritize self-care rituals.
Yes, we touched on exercise and sleep, but this is broader. Consistently investing in your overall well-being. Maybe using mindfulness apps like Calm, practicing yoga, spending quality time in nature, regularly disconnecting from work. This isn't selfish indulgence. It fuels the intense intellectual, emotional, and physical effort required to maintain and grow significant wealth over the long term. You absolutely must recharge the human machine running the wealth engine. Self-care is a strategic necessity.
Fuel the engine. Habit 70 is the final legacy lesson aimed at the next generation. Teach kids money habits.
Legacy starts at home, doesn't it? Taking the time to teach your children, or nieces, nephews, younger people you mentor, the fundamentals, the importance of saving early, the dangers of debt, how smart spending works, the basics of investing is crucial. Using tools like greenlight debit cards for kids or just having open conversations ensures that the next generation hopefully avoids some of the painful financial mistakes maybe we had to learn the hard way. It accelerates their own path to financial freedom and responsibility.
Pass on the wisdom. And the final habit, number 71, encapsulates the entire journey. Never stop learning wealth.
Curiosity compounds forever. The world changes, markets shift, new strategies emerge, tax laws get updated. The most successful wealth builders remain perpetual students. Whether it's mastering new tax legislation that could save you thousands, following emerging technology trends that create new investment opportunities, reading new books, or simply listening to deep dives like this one. Continuous learning is arguably the most foundational and powerful habit of all. It ensures you remain relevant, adaptable, and perpetually capable of building and protecting wealth throughout your entire life. Never assume you know it all.
Stay curious, stay learning.
Yeah.
Wow, 71 habits. That was comprehensive.
Okay, let's try to unpack all of that. What really stands out to me looking back across all 71 habits is the sheer consistent weight Reklau gives to that psychological foundation. It keeps coming back to mindset.
Yeah, me too. It feels like the path to wealth, according to this, starts not with some sudden windfall, not with a big salary jump necessarily, but with that often painful, definitely necessary mental shift. That core belief that you deserve wealth, that it's possible for you, and then immediately backing that belief up with the discipline of, say, tracking every single penny. Like you said, the mental habits really feel like the absolute prerequisites.
Exactly. You have to get the inside right first.
We started this whole deep dive by challenging that old myth, right, that just working harder and longer is enough. But this exploration really shows that it's the consistent, small, psychologically reinforced habits, things like actually visualizing wealth daily until it feels real, or
Wow.
learning quickly and unemotionally from that small crypto flop, or, crucially, automating that simple $50 savings transfer so it happens without thought. Those are the things that actually change your financial trajectory over time. Wealth isn't an event. It's built on thousands of those tiny intentional victories, compounding day after day, year after year.
Mm-hmm. Compounding habits. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the entire framework Reklau lays out is fundamentally built on personal agency. It's empowering, really. It's
Ah,
not about waiting for the lottery or hoping for a lucky break or blaming the system. It's about you proactively doing the small things. Implementing that morning ritual tomorrow, finding the courage to negotiate that upcoming bill, embracing new technology like AI to get sharper insights, and automating that savings transfer tonight. It feels like it collapses the time horizon between just intending to be wealthy and actually taking the steps that lead to financial freedom.
It puts the power back in your hands through daily choices. So what does all this mean for you listening right now?
Well, your assignment, thankfully, is definitely not to try and implement all 71 habits at once. That would be the exact pitfall of overwhelm we talked about way back in Habit 6,
Yeah,
right?
guaranteed failure mode.
Yeah.
Instead, maybe identify the one habit from this list that kind of stings the most when you hear it, the one that makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. Is it digging into your ingrained scarcity money story that really needs rewriting? Is it that persistent failure to take immediate action on that side hustle idea you've had for months? Or is it maybe something as simple yet profound as finally committing to tracking your spending honestly and facing the truth of where your money is actually going? Start with one, the one that resonates most deeply.
Yeah, start there. And this whole discussion raises a really important, maybe provocative question for you to think about. If wealth, as Rick Law suggests, is largely just the compound effect of these daily habits,
Yeah.
then what is the single most destructive habit you are currently practicing that you need to consciously decide to eliminate, maybe starting tonight, in order to begin thinking and, more importantly, acting like a millionaire tomorrow? What's the one thing holding you back the most right now?
Something to definitely ponder. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredibly detailed deep dive into the psychology and the practical execution of building lasting wealth, based on Marc Reklau's work. We sincerely hope these insights and habits inspire you to keep learning, keep applying knowledge, and keep changing those small, consistent actions that build the future you want.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep digging deeper.